Steve's community, welcome back to another video here with Kyle Chris. And today we're going to be going over the updated yellow decks for set 3 of Fusion World. And as always, if you guys do enjoy the content, like and subscribe to the channel. I do appreciate all of the support. So first, we are going to go over Ginyu, which is probably the least favorable yellow deck currently, next to Cooler. Both of these decks are, I mean, honestly, this deck's received just as much support maybe as Cooler, maybe if not a little bit more. But I don't think this deck is currently able to keep up. I don't think the Ginyu Raccoon package is as prominent right now just because there's so much removal. Now, the support that it did get is actually pretty good. The deck needs to, I think it's just going to have to continue to get support, and then we'll, eventually see it play. Obviously, if you don't know, you can tap 3 and discard 2 cards. You restand all of your Ginyus, and the idea is you're kind of like this swarm deck. But again, right now, a lot of your cards are it's just very easy to remove a lot of things. So, a lot of the newer stuff in the deck, so I mean, this is old stuff here. So you have the Ginyu here that draws you a card. You have your Sorbet. Your Jace that gives you, that becomes a 20k if you have 3 or more Ginyus between your leader and your battle area. So you technically only need one other card other than Jace on board, because your leader counts, Jace counts, you need one more, right? For the Frieza, typical yellow card you're going to play in it every deck right now until it gets power crept. We have the set 2, no, this is set 1 Ginyu that searches for a Ginyu Force top 5. Newer card, set 3, we have Raccoon. So on play, draw 1 and discard 1 card from your hand, and then activate main, switch this card to rest mode. If your leader has Ginyu Force and special trait, switch up to 1 of your energy to active mode. So the idea is, like, if you play, like, if you already have this card on board, right, and you are able to play down the Raccoon combo with Ginyu, so Ginyu restands 2 of your energy, then you can tap this guy. Like, you can swing with all your Ginyu Force guys on board. You tap this guy, you'll restand energy, go back up to 3, tap 3, discard 2 cards, and then restand all of your guys. That's kind of the idea. So you can actually really put in a lot of work if your opponent just doesn't have any removal for whatever reason. You can swing, like up to 8 times on like your turn, like your turn 4. But again, you just have to be able to actually get like the OTK off. We have 2 of the Guldo, which keeps a card in rest mode, which is very strong. 4 of the set 2 Ginyu. This was a promotional card. I think it was a rare. It was a rare. So you switch this card to rest mode, choose 2 of your Ginyu Force cards, and then get 5k for the turn. Again, another very cool card. So you actually can switch this card to rest mode, give itself 5k, and you give another one of your battle cards 5k, and then you can use this to tap itself and then use your effect here to then restand everything. Then this card's effect you can use again. So you can then give this card, you can give 2 other cards another 5k. So you can technically give 2 cards 10k worth of combo, or you can give itself, 5k and then swing with it, right? 4 of the Ginyu, this is probably the most important card in the deck because it's allowing you to board a battle card and then restand that 200D that you used. So you can't actually play another Ginyu card, so you can't play this 2-drop or this 2-drop or this 3-drop. So you kind of have to just make sure you're doing it at the right time. 2 skillless birder. Again, a deck that has to run skillless. That's not like a skillless engine like some blue decks play. It's just bad right now. We're in set 3. Most cards now have effects. Having to play a skillless just to fit a quota is just not great. 4 Raccoons, which allow you to play a 2-drop Ginyu Force. 4 of this Ginyu that allows you to pick up an extra card that has Ginyu Force and a special trait, so you can pick up either Bonds here, which gives our one of our cards a huge buff, 10k plus 5k for every Ginyu Force in your battle area and your leader area. So it's at least going to be a 15k if you have 2 more cards on board. That's 25k, right? Then you have now you see the power of the Ginyu Force, which allows you to draw 2 if you have 2 Ginyu Force cards in play. So as soon as you board 2, let's say you do the Raccoon Ginyu combo, then you can just tap 1 and draw 2 cards. So you can really kind of filter through your deck quickly. 2 Double Strikers, as our only boss sponsor. This deck is incredibly low to the ground, but having Double Strike is always a good thing. And then we have 4 Super Combos, of course, because for one, this Super Combo is really cool looking, and it's really the only one that kind of fits the theme of the deck, because everything else is just Piccolo or something else. Moving on to the next yellow deck, this is going to be Cooler, aka Cooler Army. So we actually built very heavily into the Metacooler stuff, and I know that's kind of a meme in Masters, but again, I mean, this deck, this is kind of what the deck has when it comes to support, so you kind of just have to try and build it, right? So we run 12 of these Metacoolers. You can run more if you so choose. I just wanted to fit things like the Ginyu package and the knees in the deck, just to give us a little extra flavor of cards that we can play. But the Metacooler card, when this card dies, you play a 3-cost Metacooler card from your hand. And these are all 10Ks, right? So this is another target that we can play either for 3, or we can play it off of this other Metacooler. This card is a 20k blocker that switches to active mode at the end of the turn. So you can pressure with this card and then restand. And the new bit of support that we got is the Metacooler Core. This is a 4-drop 30k. This also is a Frieza clan, which is important because this allows us to utilize our leader effect now, where we can untap a 4-cost Frieza clan. Finally, right? So when you tap this guy, you play out 2 3-drop Metacoolers from the drop area. So you get to establish 2 20k bodies, right? What's good about that is now you can use your leader effect, discard a card, you can discard a Metacooler, untap this, tap this again, and then play 2 more out. That's really good. And then when one of these cards die, you just play another one. So you can actually up this number if you want. If you want to take out some of these like middle cards here, you can just go like up to like, what is that? Almost 20, like 20 something, like 22 copies of Metacooler or something. You can do that as well. But I think this is a pretty interesting, very interesting swarm strategy. I don't know how good it is, but it's pretty cool. And I think this deck now just needs another Metacooler card that allows this, like, that facilitates these. So maybe like a card that gives all Metacoolers 5k. That would be really good. Just something else. Maybe even in like another Metacooler card. We have the OG Frieza. That's what you were playing in this deck originally. It's a 4-drop 40k. You can restand. You can't restand it during the charge phase though. Then we have the King Cold Mecha Frieza package. So Mecha Frieza plays out a 4-cost King Cold, so we can play out either one of these guys. So it's a 5-drop that plays out another 25 or 30k body, right? So we can play out this this 40k, this 4-drop King Cold here, or this 4-drop King Cold, which when it blocks, it restands. These are also Frieza Clan, so we can also untap them with our leader effect as well. All right, so very simple deck, but the idea is there. You know, you just got to give it a shot. I don't want to say it's a meme deck, but it is. It's obviously it's very linear in what it does. There's no real pivoting from that. You can include some extra cards like Supernova and stuff, but it's very linear. So if you're playing it, you're more likely playing it for fun. I'm sure someone on the ladder is going to play it and do maybe decently well with it, but yeah, it's a pain to play against. It's just but it also it's really fun to play. So give it a shot. If you end up climbing to like God tier with this, let me know. I want to see if somebody actually does it. All right, now moving on to some of the relevant yellow decks. There's really only 2 that most people are going to play, at least from the older decks. So one is obviously Frieza, aka King Frieza. Been the best yellow deck since the game started. Now this build, ratio-wise, you can mess around with. This is very typical of how the Frieza deck's been played, with a few minor adjustments. So of course, including this Frieza. This is from last set, from set 2. You have to make sure you're playing this card. This card allows you to you can stop your opponent's 4 cost from restanding if you restand this off of your leader effect. Of course, the Ginyu package, the Ginyu Raccoon package, you kind of need that just for tempo in the mid game. The blue Vegeta, just to stop our card from being KO'd. We have the new Majin Buu, the Barrier. It's a good card. Don't play 4 of it. 2 or 3 is probably fine. It's a barrier card. When this card dies, though, you do have to discard a card for it to stay. So it's almost like you're having to save it anyways with a card. So you have to make sure that it's worth it. It doesn't feel super worth it at times. The barrier really doesn't matter. But the card is good. The card is a good card to play. We have 4 of the blue Goku. This is like your best card to play. Locks down 2 cards. We have the new Majin Vegeta. They should have made it Majin Vegeta. But this is a dual attacker that can KO a 3 cost or less in rest mode. We only include 2. You can include 3 if you want to cut this Guldo. I just like to include it as a one of. We have 3 of the new Babidi. So this card's really good in some matchups and then is just awful in other matchups. So in yellow matchups, this card actually would be pretty good, allowing you to draw when your opponent swings with a 3-cost card. And it's only 3 cost. It's not 2 cost, not 4 cost. It's only 3 cost. If you have multiple of these on the board, obviously you can draw off multiple of them. In the red matchups, this card's really good because your opponent plays, unless it's Jiren, but the other decks, they play a lot of 3 costs, so you can use those to draw. And it's got barriers, so they can't remove it. 1 double striker, you can again bump this up to 2 if you don't like the ratio. 2 of the secret rare, which allows us to extend into the late game and hopefully not die. 2 Death Ball. This is really good now, especially in the black. Death Ball is an incredible card when they use the Bardock to they tap an energy, or they combo with the card to restand it. You can just plus 15 and then just tap it down. Right? It's super good. It's an incredible, just an easy counter, and black spams out a lot of 3-cost battle cards, 3 or less battle cards, so you can just start tapping stuff down. 1 Final Explosion taps everything that's 3 costs or less on your opponent's board, and then you can KO 2 battle cards that cost 4 or less. So in the green matchup, this card's like never going to be used. You can use it in red, you can use it in blue. It's really good in the yellow. It's really good in the black. Very good in the black because this actually can KO the secret rare. So, and then 4 super combos to round out the deck. This is a 51 card list. Again, very similar to how the deck has been ran, just with a few extra inclusions from the new set. All right, last yellow deck. This is by far my favorite yellow deck out of the 4. This is Royal Vegeta, Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. This deck is my favorite, my choice for best yellow deck. I think you should play this deck. This deck is so fun to play. So being able to restand 2 energy at the end of the turn is so crucial for allowing you to access all of these really powerful extra cards here. So obviously we have Final Explosion we can play. We have this new guy, Energy Absorption. You choose one of your opponent's battle cards, switch to the rest mode. It can't switch to active mode during your opponent's next turn. Then, if that card is 4 costs or more, you draw 1. So you can actually just tap down any card, and then if it's 4 costs or more, you draw a card, and now that card can't restand. Then you get the energy back at the end of the turn. Fantastic. You can bump this up more if you would like to. I just didn't have the room. 3 of the Death Balls, 4 Time Rewound, which gives you or your leader a battle card, 20k. Then if you give this to a battle card, it restands. A lot of the 1-drops are the same. Yamu just kind of replaces Sorbet, since we're not playing the Raccoon package in here. This Balma, you can restand. You tap this card to add a 2 cost or less extra back to your hand. So you can add any of these 3 cards back to your hand, or you can't add this. You can add any of these 3 cards back to your hand. Of course, this 1-drop Balma, you're playing this in Frieza more than likely as a 4 of. This deck, it's a 3 of, just because you're not able to restand this card as easily. 3 of the Frieza starter deck that taps the card, obviously the 2-drop here. Frieza, the Vegeta, Majin Buu, Goku, Majin Vegeta, these are all cards you just saw in the Frieza deck, but you're playing them in this deck too. Those are kind of like your battle card staples. Then we have this new Vegeta that at the end of the turn you can tap 1 energy to give your leader 5k. This is really cool. This turns your leader into a 25k, right, for 1 energy. Super solid. If you don't have anything else to do with your energy, if you have multiple of these on board, you can just, restand 2 energy and then just tap 2 energy and then go up to 30. You just become a 30k leader for defense. And then if you have like 1 extra energy open, now you have an energy for Death Ball or Time Rewound, right? Super good. 2 double strikers, 2 secret rares, 4 super combos as standard. This is a 52 card list. You're going to go through your deck pretty quickly. I think this is really solid. This is probably my favorite list that I played in yellow. You actually will probably see some gameplay of this deck on the client. I think I have 2 secret rares on the client. That's what I got to check for, but you'll probably see some gameplay of this on the client pretty soon here from me, just because this is a very fun yellow deck to play. If I wanted to buy the yellow cards, I would play this deck. I just don't feel like buying them. So, but that does it for me today, guys. That is all of the updated list for yellow for the beginning of set 3, now that it's been out for at least a week or so. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you guys did, please like and subscribe to the channel. I do appreciate all of the support. I always say that. I don't know why I do that. But that is it. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next Fusion World video.